This is Tuesday, April 16th, coming to you from a nice, lovely, warm weather in West Haven, Connecticut at 88.7 radio station. Doing our 8th episode of our Season 3 podcast with yours truly, Fire Tiger, and my lovely co-host,
Medic Dog. What is up, everyone? Before we start this episode, I have an announcement to make. As a Yankee fan, I received some news this morning that John Sterling, who has been the voice of the Yankees for 36 years, has announced his retirement effective immediately. John, thank you for everything. You will be missed. And for those of you who don't know who John Sterling is, he is known for Ball Game Over, Yankees Win, the Yankees Win. Thank you for everything, John Sterling. You will be missed. How about a nice big round of applause for John Sterling? Thank you, John Sterling. You will be missed by all Yankee fans around the world.
And that concludes your brief announcement for this 8th episode, brought to you by my co-host, Medic Dog. Now, folks, on with the episode. Folks, if you live in England, this is going to be specially dedicated to you because this is in honor of Queen Elizabeth II, whose birthday is coming up this Sunday. So we wanted to dedicate a nice episode of our Public Safety Future Responders podcast by highlighting a little bit of a safety tidbit from the Metropolitan Police Department over in London, England.
But how about a nice big round of applause for Queen Elizabeth?
Yeah. You will certainly be really, truly missed, Queen Elizabeth. You've done your duties very well. You always wore those very high, bright colored dresses and hats. And for all of you who may not have seen the Queen, well, guess what? You did, whether you saw her in person or not. Whether she wore bright colors to stand out for the crowd. And if you didn't get to see her up close and personal, if the bodyguards will let you, well, at least you can say you saw the Queen, even though it may not have been the Queen. Who knows?
Plus, she parachuted out of a helicopter with Daniel Craig into the arena of the 2012 Summer Olympics during the opening ceremonies. Right. You will be missed. Thank you for everything you've done, Queen Elizabeth.
And you certainly did serve your country very well as the royal representative. So to that extent, we are going to highlight this episode is going to be talking about mobile phone device from the Metropolitan Police. So our brothers and sisters in blue over in London, this is for you all over in England, because why not? We support all emergency services around the world. So let's get on to it. Talking about phone safety. Easy peasy, simple, easy. Everybody has a cell phone nowadays, whether it's a flip phone, iPhone, Apple, whatever. We all got a phone. Or we know somebody that has a phone. Right? Co-host?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I thought I lost you there for a second.
I was distracted by everything going on outside the studio.
It is a lovely warmer day, but anywho. So we're going to share some advice on how to protect yourself from mobile phone theft, because like it is all over the place, you can probably lose your phone one way or another. So here are some safety tips from our brothers and sisters in blue from London that I think will be very helpful for everybody around the world, including our friends here in America.
I agree with that 100%.
So protect yourself from mobile phone theft. Don't leave your phone, iPad, tablet, or camera unattended. Simple, easy. If you're not using it, you should have it in your pocket. Or in this case, like I am doing right now, have it on the table in front of me, where I'm keeping an eye on it.
I always have mine in my pocket at all times.
Yep, you can do that too. Out of your sight or left on a table. Referencing the fact of if you get up and leave the table, take your phone with you unless you're with somebody else that can hold your phone for you. Because thieves can grab a phone from a table in seconds. Simple put. Fastest person that probably grabbed the phone was in 5 seconds. I have no idea if that's true or not, but that is what I am being told anyways. Be aware of your surroundings and only use your mobile when it feels safe to. Folks, I'm going to highlight the fact of British people love to just say mobile instead of mobile phones, just so people understand that. So this is from the British Metropolitan Police. Please don't be mad. So when you're not using it, put it away and keep it out of sight until you need it. Now we come to the part about we try to prevent you from losing your phone, but for some reason, as we're going to go into another scenario based on this episode, Medic Dog.
Yes.
We gave advice about preventing people from stealing your phone, but this is going to be scenario based here, so play along with me on this.
Sure will.
For all of you who are aware of it, it's just a scenario based. This is based on actual circumstances. So we gave you advice to keep your phone from being taken. However, you did accidentally left your phone on the table because you had to walk away quickly, and you left your phone, and a criminal came along and took your phone. After we gave you advice, you should have listened, but you didn't. So here are some things that will help you find your phone if your phone does get stolen. You have 3 options. Secure your phone. Get your IMEI number. Use a tracking app. Turn off messaging previews. Or turn off messaging previews. Out of those 4 options, what do you think would be the first thing you want to do? Because you can probably do any of these, but what would be the first thing you want to do?
So for me personally...
Out of those four options.
Yeah. For me personally... Well, number one, I would always secure my phone. Make sure, they can't get a hold of anything. But I would also find my iPhone and find it that way. Because the cool thing is it tracks every single location, and you can even play a sound.
Ooh,
and when you play that sound, there's a message that comes to your phone that says that a sound was played on your device. Now, I always test Find My Apple device sounds because I just always like to make sure they work. Just God forbid something ever happens, I know that it works and I know that I can use it. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much my advice. I do pretty much a multiple of things.
Okay, yeah, and for me, for an Android, thank you for sharing that about your iPhone. But
you're welcome.
Not everybody has iPhones like my co-host does. Some have Androids, like I do. And here are some of my tidbits from having an Android phone. Folks, like I said, it's best to, if you lose your phone, if you know somebody that has your phone number, go track down a friend of yours, to help you get your phone number, that knows your phone number. Go track down a friend who you can say, well, my phone just got taken. Can you call my phone to find out where it went? Otherwise, I would suggest contact the police, because you can use tracking apps. There are plenty of tracking apps out there. iPhones already come pre-installed with them, because why not? They're Apple pathetic. Sorry. Sorry, just gotta say it. But when in doubt, it's best to go to the police as soon as possible and report the fact your phone got stolen, because in that way the police can contact the phone company and can get your phone shut down until the phone can be found. And then, but the other thing that's going to be helpful is to get your IMEI number. Every phone has it. Get your phone's IMEI number by typing *#6# on your phone keypad. Keep note of it somewhere other than on your phone. The IMEI can help track the phone down if it's lost or stolen. You're going to have to look up what that actually means, because I have no idea what that abbreviation stands for. But it's something relating to your phone. You'll get a code for it.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
Otherwise, like we said, the fact of also too, use a tracking app. If you have an iPhone, you're already ahead of the crowd because you already got one. Thank you to Apple for installing that, because Android will not get that, even though we all keep asking for it. Unless you have a Google phone, because Google is an Android and Google wants to make you happy. Don't ask me why. You can download an app set up a tracking app on your phone so you can see where it is from another device like a laptop. Use it as soon as possible before thieves have a chance to disable it, because once the thieves are able to disable it, then you are stuck without it if you have it. Turn off message previews. I think that's the most easiest one I think everybody can do, because that way thieves cannot see any messages about resetting or login codes when your phone is locked, because if thieves can see it, then they can get into your phone, and then you just made your matters a whole lot worse. Make sure you can still access your data. Your phone data is regularly being backed up either automatically over Wi-Fi or by plugging it onto a computer. There's somewhere else you can get an access code sent to, two-factor authentication codes to access your data from another device. You keep important information like family and friends, phone numbers, and passwords somewhere else secured, not just on your phone. Like for me, I will highlight this because I think it is very helpful, and I wish everybody could do this. If you have a Google account, and you use your Google account for logging into social media like YouTube or Discord, and Google says, "Hey, would you want to save your password?" Use it, accept it, please. Google can help you, because that way you can access your Google account from anywhere. And you can access your password anywhere, like I have been doing for the last who knows how many months. It's been helping me a lot because Google does back up my passwords for me. Now that I just literally just said that on a podcast episode, so now everybody just said, oh, look, he just uploads things on Google. Yay!
But that's a really cool thing, because I knew that obviously that Google saves your passwords, but I never knew that it would back up your passwords.
Well, yeah, because what it is with Google's account, you can save the passwords, and then that way you can access it because it's like a logbook of everything.
Yeah.
Because like it is now, everybody wants to write passwords down nowadays because everybody believes pencils and paper are the olden days, like 1980s.
A lot of people believe in computer and keyboards, like myself, but I also know that pens and pencils and paper is still a thing that do come in handy, like Firefire Tiger just said.
Yeah. So, folks, that's just to highlight a few pointers about keeping your phone safe. But like it is, the main point to take away here is the fact of, when in doubt, keep your phone with you at all times. If you're not using it, keep it in your pocket. Otherwise, hold it in your hand and keep it in front of you. If you're at a table, if your phone's not in your pocket, keep your phone on the table. I know especially when I go to a restaurant, I like to keep the phone in front of me if I can, or off to the side, but it's still within my eye vision zone, as I call it, where I can see it 180 degrees. When I get up from the table, I take the phone with me, or I'll leave it with my mother or father. Or if I have a friend with me, like my co-host, I just say, hey, can you keep an eye on my phone? I'll be right back. And what would be your answer to that question?
I would say absolutely. But one thing that I do is if someone does want me to handle their phone, I just put that phone in my other pocket.
That works too.
Then I know exactly that it's on me and I have control over it and nothing can happen to it.
Right. So, you lost your phone, you did everything you possibly can. Here's another tidbit. If the police say, well, we'll do our best to find it. When in doubt, if you live with a family member and your phone is on the phone plan with your family, here's another tidbit. Contact the phone company to disable the phone, because phone companies can do that, I think.
Yeah, they should be able to.
Or contact your phone company and say, hey, my phone just got stolen. And they can put a trace on it, or whatever phone companies do, whatever. But contact your phone company as well, because that way they're alerted to it. Also, too, if you do, and here's a tidbit. I know we talked about phone safety, but I want to talk about banking safety as well, because it kind of goes hand in hand with mobile banking. Because now banks are saying, hey, download an app for me, and I do everything on your phone, and you don't have to come see me in the bank. which I find pathetic because people should be still going to the bank because we still have bank tellers. We would be losing jobs. But on to mobile banking for a second, because why not? Because it's England. We love banking because everybody loves to bank everywhere in the world. Mobile banking is good for you, but also please also, when in doubt, if you are traveling, if you cannot get to a bank, your phone is also very helpful, especially with mobile apps for your banking. Like Bank of America has it, Liberty Bank. I'm trying to think of a bank in England. The Bank of England has an app, probably. Yeah, but basically, what I'm saying is if you can't make it to a bank, in the banking apps for your phone, if you have it downloaded, which I highly encourage because, like it is, not everybody can make it to the banks. Like, if you cannot make it to the Santander UK Bank or the Barclays Bank in England, since we're talking about England, if you have an app, they probably have a setting in the banking app that will put flag notices on your card. I would highly encourage you all to do that when you're traveling, and that goes for anybody in the world, like not just people in England, but like even in the United States. That's going to help you in the long run because not the bank you have may not service where you're going. There could be different banks in the area, so letting your bank know when you're making a purchase is going to be helpful because then they may end up blocking it if they're not aware. So yes, I understand you're making travel plans, but also too include the fact of going to your bank and saying, "Hey, I'm going to this state. Just letting you know in case I make any purchases, you're aware of it." Because a lot of banks kind of have this notion that if they're not aware of your bank of where you're going, just to make them aware, like you don't have to tell them exactly like where you're going, just like general location. Like, yeah, I'm going to be in like Pennsylvania, for example, and my bank just so happened to be at Liberty Bank. Well, Liberty Bank don't have banks in Pennsylvania. Letting Liberty Bank know that, hey, I'm going to be in Pennsylvania for a period of time, that way lets them know that, okay, we don't have branches in there and down in that state, but okay, they're going to be making purchases while they're down there through other banks, so we won't block their cards because some banks do have the notion of, oh, if we don't know it, then we are going to block it because we think it might be theft. See my point?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's just another highly mobile device kind of safety concern of an app on phones. Anything else you want to say?
Another thing. If you get a call and the person says, "Oh, hi, this is the IRS," do not fall for it. It is a scam. The IRS will never call you.
Nope.
If they need something. They will send you a letter in the mail.
For you to call them.
Exactly.
They want you to call them.
But they'll send you a letter in the mail to do that. Same thing with jury duty. They'll send you a letter in the mail for you to call them.
Oh, and speaking of which, speaking of jury duty, I know we're talking about that. We're talking about mobile devices. Folks, I'm going to highlight this because why not? Because it's another mobile device. Safety precaution. If you do have jury duty, which I highly encourage you all, if you get jury duty, go. Please, because even though, yes, you got a letter saying, yeah, you just got summoned to jury duty, you may have odds that when you show up, you may not actually have to serve on the jury. Just because you get a letter for jury duty, yes, they want you to go to jury duty, but you are among probably many others that probably got the same letter to report to the courthouse to go through an interview selection process to be on the jury for a case. So, yes, you may have a jury letter, but don't ignore it because you could get in trouble, and in a roundabout way, just go to it and just basically sit through the interview. If you don't end up on the jury duty, good for you. You just did your time just by showing up and saying, oh, we don't need you. You just did your jury duty. Easy peasy. But if you do end up on a jury duty, please take your phone and do the following. Silence it, mute it, or turn it off. Because it is really annoying in the courtroom. Because otherwise the judge is going to kick you out.
Another thing, there's a in the letter there will be a number for you to call, and they may sometimes say you don't have to go.
Oops, sorry.
But like I was saying, you'll call that number, and they may say you don't have to go.
Right. So please double check if you do get a jury duty letter. Please follow up with it. Don't be stupid. Anything else as we just covered about mobile safety, from mobile safety in England, how to protect your phone, to a few other tidbits of mobile banking, and also talking about safety in the courtroom for silencing it, so you're not the one that's being told out by the judge.
If you get any promotion text messages, those are scams. Because I'll tell you, when I first got my cell phone, I was at school one day. Well, it wasn't school, but yeah, I was at my school for a play rehearsal that we had during one of our breaks. And I said to one of our directors, who was my Spanish and religion teacher, I said to her, I just won a cruise, and I didn't even pay any money for it. I'm not going to give this up. And she said, don't answer those. Those are scams. Don't answer those. And I didn't answer it, which I'm happy about. Mm-hmm. But when I think about it now, it was probably a scam.
Probably was.
So if you get a text message that's a promotion, or saying that you want a vacation, or would you like to go on a magical vacation, don't answer them.
And also, too, going off of that, too, folks, if you do get a scam, please, if you're unsure, here's some tidbits. Contact them the proper way. Contact the company just to follow up. And same goes for if you get a solicitor at the door that says, "Oh, we're doing work in the area," and technically they're supposed to have identification on them. If they do not have identification, you know that good old phone you got? That's a great safety device for you, because guess what? In a roundabout way, you can record the conversation and you don't have to tell them that you're recording them. Because I have almost done that a few times. Because then I could go to the police and go, "Hey, look, I just had somebody at my door that was giving me unsolicited whatever. Here's what you need to know. Oh, well, did they have identification? Nope, they didn't. Here's the recording. I have it all recorded for you. Here's the evidence." And they can take it from there. So, when in doubt, if you want to be safe, your phone is the best bet to help you save it. So don't lose your phone. That's all we're saying here, folks. Don't lose your phone.
That's actually a really good pointer, because I truly never knew that, obviously I knew your phone is safety, but, I've gotten solicitors before, and I never had to do that because luckily they've had identification and they would show it, and yeah.
Right. So, any other mobile phone related conversational pieces you want to highlight here?
Just want to say, if you ever get mad or frustrated about anything, or your favorite sports team loses, or you're watching a movie or a show and your favorite character dies, or even in a game, do not smash your phone because you're upset.
Or throw your phone either, because you don't want to do that either, because then you just realize, I just now got to go spend more money to go and get your phone replaced.
Also, another thing with your phone, do not text and drive, and do not call and drive.
Right, if you go, basically here's a little tidbit for you all who want to call and drive at the same time. Guess what? Here's a tidbit, and my father told me this because why not? I want to share this with everybody. Basically, even though a lot of cars nowadays are going hands-free with Bluetooth connection, well, unfortunately, the older cars do not have Bluetooth capability. So here's a little tidbit for you, and I learned this from my father. When you do call somebody, tell them, give me a second. I will put you on speaker. That will help you because in a roundabout way, that is technically hands-free driving because your hands are on the wheel while you're conversating with somebody on the phone because you got the phone in your lap on speaker and you are having a conversation and you're still driving because that is technically the easiest way to get around hands-free driving for the older cars.
They also have some stands you can get for your phone that you can hook onto one part of your car and it can automatically put your phone on speaker for you.
So, folks, we're going to head on out because we all want to go see the lovely Queen. Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Also, too, I'm going to just highlight a little bit of a little tidbit about the Royal Guards for a second. If you are by Buckingham Palace, please be respectful of the Royal Guards. Try not to, yes, I respect the fact of the Royal Guards being a tourist attraction. Folks, please, whatever you do, even though I'm an American, even though we're Americans, if you're a tourist in England, because the British people are going to tell you anyways, please don't tick off the guards. Yes, they're a tourist attraction. Yes, you can be silly with them, whatever. But don't tick them off. It's not going to end well. If you don't believe me, go look it up. They even have their own YouTube channels of stuff. It's not good. It's not pleasant. And when the guard, during the shift change, if a Royal Guard tells you to move, don't stop in front of them. Move out of the way or you're going to be in a bigger problem and you're probably going to end up on YouTube next week.
Yeah.
As we have already seen by a few other people because the Royal Guards have their own YouTube channel.
Yeah, do not tick off the guards or else you'll probably end up in jail. And you do not want to end up in London jail.
Right, because you don't want to see the British police. Because if you do, good luck getting yourself bailed out. Oh, and that reminds me, speaking of British, because we were talking about England, folks, I'm going to tell you a quick tidbit for Americans. Because the British people are going to laugh at it. Because I've already made this remark, and I got laughed at by a few British people I know online. Americans, if you go to England, take a taxi or walk. Don't drive. Because apparently the British people think we're crazy. That's all I'm going to say to it. And I know I'm going to get British people that are going to probably ridicule me on that because every British person says that about Americans and yada, yada, yada. And I'm not trying to cause a problem with the British on a podcast episode. So, folks, if you're American going to England, and that goes to anybody, do yourself a favor. Get a taxi or walk. Or if you know somebody who lives in England, have them drive you. Don't drive in England. Great Britain is different than America. We drive on, we drive on the left side?
We drive on, the driver's on the left side.
Yeah, we drive on the left. Our drivers are on the left side of the road. Yeah, or on the left side of the car. British people drive on the right-hand side of their cars. So, folks, if you're an American, try not to get into a British car. Unless you're the passenger, it's not going to work out for you because Americans, I don't think, kind of know how to drive in England.
Yeah.
But like it is, that's not the only time I'm not the only person that's saying that. There's a whole lot of other British people and everybody else. There's a lot of people that say that Americans can't drive right, and it's kind of true. We cannot drive right at all. But folks, seriously, with your mobile phones, if you're going to send that text, pull to the side of the road to shoot the text. Or if you're going to be in a conversation, and you're on the road, pull over, call somebody, put them on speaker, then get back on the road and continue on. Don't text and drive. Don't call and drive. Otherwise, you're going to see your very own blue light in your mirror. And folks, I'm going to highlight this because I want to, because it's funny. Folks, you don't want to see the blue light special because that blue light special is going to be the cop car behind you. That's the blue light special you don't want to see.
You don't want to see
Especially
that
in the
either.
mirror.
Also, do not FaceTime and drive for those who have iPhones or have Androids with FaceTime capability.
Right.
Because if you try to FaceTime someone while you're driving, you won't be looking at the road. You'll be looking at your phone and not paying attention, concentrating on your driving.
Mm-hmm. But any other tidbits you want to say?
No, I think we covered all of them.
Well, then that's good because guess what? The time when we say one more thing before we say farewell. Because like it is, and I did the math, Queen Elizabeth II would be 98 years old because she died at 95 in 2022. So 96 would have been 2023. Actually, I take that back. 97 because 95, 96, yeah. She would have been 97 years old today if she was still alive.